Hi, I'm Bart Herbison, Executive Director of the Nashville Songwriters Association. And this week, the story behind the song for the Tennessean is one of my favorite ever stories behind the
This
song.
better be good.
Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue with the great Richard Lee. And first up front, I want to thank you for all your service to songwriters as the president of this organization.
Thank you,
and
Bart.
just all the work you've done through the years, Richard. But
Thank
the
you.
song keeps getting played. I hear it on so many formats all the time, adult, contemporary, the different oldie stations, and it still gets played on country radio.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute miracle.
So how did it come about? I'm going to shut up and let you tell this fantastic story. Don't
Well-
It Make My Brown Eyes Blue? Or maybe Don't It Make My Brown Eye Blue?
Well, many years ago, when I was living here in Nashville, I was sitting on the couch and I was coming up with this idea, and I had this nice little groove, like, you know. And I said to myself, it ought to be something really bluesy, you know. And so I came up with what I thought was a brilliant title, and it was, Don't It Turn My Rainbows Blue.
Which ain't bad.
It ain't bad. And then I looked down at my little dog Amanda. She was a little black and white terrier that had been given to me on the first day that I'd signed my deal with United Artists Publishing by the great Alan Reynolds and the wonderful Sandy Mason, who wrote Dreamin' My Dreams. And they brought it over that day, very day I signed. And so I'm working on this song, and Amanda's seated at my feet. Don't it turn my rainbows blue? And I was just loving it. And I looked down at Amanda, who always, sat at my feet while I'd write, and she just had this. She was looking up at me like this with her big brown eyes, and she needed to go to the bathroom. So I thought, just a minute, Amanda, and because I really thought I was onto something, and I went, wait a minute. Brown eyes turning blue. And I went, I actually said, no, it's too commercial. I said, and I was still fresh from being a folk singer in Richmond, Virginia. But as she went outside and went to the bathroom and everything, I came back in and I saw things her way.
Now, had Amanda had two different color eyes?
No.
Okay. Because I've heard urban legends of that story.
No.
So-
What happened was years later, it's even better than being born with one brown and one blue, as many of the. But you're hearing it the way it really happened, Bart. It was like this. Many years later, after it had been all the way around the world,
The song.
the song had been all the way around the world, and it sold millions of records. Amanda was now living with me in a bigger house, and bigger dog bowl, better food, and she was chasing a trash truck. And the guy on the back of the trash truck was always chucking rocks at her. And I never thought much of it, but one day he must have hit her because she came back in and she had a little trickle of blood from her eye. And, well, to make a long story short, took her to the vet. He said she's going to lose that eye. He said, you're just going to have to be real careful with her. And so I tried to be, and as years went by, a couple of years went by, I noticed that, I noticed right off that when a dog's eye goes blind, it turns blue. And so the dog that had inspired Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue actually had her brown eye turn blue. And then a couple of years after that, she died while I was away on vacation. And they said, Richard, she's gone, and I cried like a little girl. I really was
I'm
sad.
about to right now.
She was such a wonderful little dog, and she was truly the only woman that ever loved me. But she adored me, and I adored her. Well, I said, no, don't keep her body for me. Just go ahead and cremate her, but keep her collar for me, because I'd like to keep that as a keepsake. So I came back to town and I picked up her collar, and I walked into the living room where I kept my awards, and I put her little blue collar around the Grammy that she helped me win for Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue.
What a story behind the song for the Tennessean. Let's hear a little bit from the remarkable Mr. Richard Lee.
Don't know when I've been so blue. Don't know what's come over you. You found someone new. And don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue.
And that this week is the story behind the song for the Tennessean.